We got to start with the Bucks, the team that's on top of the East. Best record in the whole league, sit 6.5 games ahead of second place Toronto, and their 8-game stretch not only includes matchups with the Rockets, Heat, and Raptors, but we're also going to see them against the Celtics, who Jalen Rose seems to love a lot under the circumstances of a bubble in Orlando. But speaking of Boston, they are the 3 seed in the East, would face the 76ers in the first round of the playoffs. But Philly has a chance to improve their spot as 5 with the 8 games that they're going to play currently. And they all have a losing record. So that's good news for the 76ers. But tell me why you think Boston, J Rose, is the best team to unseat the Bucks.
Because they have a core that's young, but actually experienced with playing with each other. That always means something. You add Kemba, but the other guys were drafted by the team. Tatum, Brown. Then you add Cantor, who's going to get you offensive rebounds as well as score around the bucket. And again, expect sloppy basketball. A lot of turnovers, plays breaking down. You're going to need a lot of two-way players and guys that can get their own shot. And a wild card that can get you 20, 25 on a given night. The Boston Celtics have multiple players that can do so.
Okay, I got to just offer this up to Jay Will because he believes that the 76ers were going to make it, I think, to the finals when we started.
He said win it all.
Did he say win it all? Okay, I tried to forget that. However, they do have an easy schedule. Every single team they face has a losing record. Jay Will, do you still believe in the 76ers?
Well, do I still believe it? I love how you frame the questions, Maria Taylor, trying to set me up. I jumped off the 76ers bandwagon a while ago, but I know I am getting there, Paul. Come on, man. I do believe that it's interesting. If the second easiest schedule, and if Joel Embiid is healthy, they are one of the best defensive teams there is in the league. So if Ben Simmons can come back, remember he had that injury going into it, we were questioning that. So I do like the 76ers, not to win the whole thing, but I do think that they have a chance to make a big run. But I will say this, Jay Rose, for your Celtics, they have to get by the Toronto Raptors first. And I know that every time we look at the Eastern Conference, we talk about the Bucks or we talk about the Celtics. We do not talk about the Toronto Raptors, a team that's in second place and has a whole bunch of wing defenders that actually are the perfect matchup to go against the Celtics. And then you throw in Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet to go against Kemba. That would be a very interesting matchup to see how the Celtics handle that size and that length of the Toronto Raptors. You got to put some respect on their name and their season that they're having.
Yeah, you absolutely have to. Defending NBA champions. They went 14-3 on the road, Uncle P, after Thanksgiving. So what do you still like about Toronto and their ability to make a push, too, in Orlando?
Well, they got the experience, and then everybody pretty much counted them out. Once Kawhi went out west, it was just like, pretty much stick a fork in Toronto, but they've held their own. They've done more than hold their own in the Eastern Conference. The one thing that I can't get faith in the Toronto Raptors is because while Siakam is a budding star, he hasn't hit superstar status yet. And I think you're gonna need superstars to win in this league. Are they a threat? Yes, because it's the Eastern Conference. When you talk about teams like Heat, Sixers, Indiana, these guys are all pretty much in the same boat. Milwaukee is the head of the class, but I agree with Jalen said. Boston poses the best threat, and not because I played for Boston, but when you look at their roster, Jason Tatum started playing like a superstar before the work stoppage. And in my opinion, Boston has the best starting 5 in the NBA.
Well, you mentioned Jason Tatum, and in a normal calendar, next week, Jason Tatum would be signing a 5-year max contract extension with the Celtics, as would Bam Adebayo in Miami, Donovan Mitchell in Utah, De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento. And now those players go into Orlando with the concern, and they talked about it with the Players Association during the hiatus. They talked with the league about trying to get insurance on those contracts because you are taking a greater risk with your body when there is a stoppage in play like this. And those players have that on their minds, that the kind of insurance policy you have to take out, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 to protect against the potential loss of earnings. Don't discount that as the kind of thing that is on players' minds when they go in this bubble, because there is a lot to lose. There's a lot at stake for them.
Yeah, and you hated the hiatus because Jason Tatum was a guy who was averaging 28 points over the last 20 games, made his first All-Star appearance, and like you said, expecting a huge payday on the other side of the season. All right, we have walked our way through the East as well. As you know, the games are finally starting, and we've got some good ones coming right here on our air. Yeah, that's right. Get excited. We're going to fill up your appetite. One of the biggest nights on ESPN is a quadruple header on Saturday, August 1st. Starts at 1 Eastern, Heat Nuggets, then Jazz Thunder, then Pelicans Clippers at 6, and then we've got the Lakers and the Raptors, who Jay Will is so behind right now, at 8:30. That's going to be a really fun night.
And August 1st is a special day because my grandmother, Mary Bell Hicks, turns 103 years old.
Let's go.
I knew that was a special day.
That's why the schedule has a quadruple on it, Jay
indeed.
Rose. Absolutely.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.